everyone. Sorry for the slight delay. Hi guys, I am Rebecca from Chemnitz, and today we are going to we are going to dye some yarn inspired by the November Chemnitz dye-along photo. Every month, hopefully, on the 15th, I'm going to be sharing a new inspiration photo and then show and dye some yarn about how I was inspired by that photo. And you can dye along too. You can take as whatever kind of inspiration you want from the photo. You don't have to use the same techniques that I do. You could be inspired by the colors, you could be inspired by a shape or sort of like a type of colorway that you see in there. It really is up to you. When I film the recap for this live stream, I will feature some of your photos that you dyed with this inspiration in mind. And if you would like the chance for me to feature your photo, share your yarn with the hashtag ChemKnitsDyeAlong and talk a little bit about how you were inspired by this photo. You can also share the photo on the thread on the Chemnitz Facebook page. I have a link to that thread in the video description. And I'll pick some of the pictures and share them with this live stream recap, probably at the beginning of December. Now, if you want to share the photos with me privately, you can also private message me, or you can share them in the Chemnitz Lab Facebook group. Everything shared in there is private, so I won't share like any of it publicly. So let me see. Hi everybody. I'm so glad you could join me today. Now the other thing that is a big note today is that the Knit Picks Big Sale is still ongoing. I just dropped another link into the chat. I am going to be using a variety of Knit Picks Bare yarns today. I'm planning to do multiple sort of versions and inspirations on this photo. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But some of the yarns are on big clearance at the Knit Picks Big Sale, so it's really worth checking out. And hopefully my first order from the sale will arrive tomorrow and I'll do an unboxing. But I am pretty excited about all of this. And actually, I think I want to pop out the chat. I got so nervous. We got the phone call at 6 a.m. from school, but we don't have a snow day. It was just the public buses were delayed. Okay, so I've got the chat. That's good. So the photo that I picked for November is this beautiful picture of the Milky Way as viewed from Earth. And the photo credit belongs to Ferenc Horvath via Unsplash, which is a sort of like free stock photos that you can use. And I think I put a link to that in the, I don't know if I put a link, I may have put a link in the video description. But what drew me to this picture were the colors. I loved the, this broken purple kind of thing. We've got, there's a deep navy, there's purple, maybe some pinks, and it's like we've got a nice little gradient. And immediately I was like, aha, maybe I should dip dye some yarn in some purple mixtures. The other thing that really drew me to this photo were the white stars. And, it's like I wish that there was a white dye that you could dye a bright, vibrant color and then speckle on white speckles or white food coloring to then add white on top. However, that's not really the way that it works. I suppose you could try it with bleach. I don't recommend that though. I think that could be risky. So what we are going to do is we are going to do we're going to play around with some resist techniques. We are going to be using physical resists like string, so maybe we'll use some acrylic yarn. I've got some crochet cotton for some tiny ones. And then I even have my reusable zip ties, because I think one of my least favorite things about doing a resist is cutting the resist back off without damaging the yarn. So I thought that these ties would be a really fun way. Yep, you see some resist dyeing headed in your direction. Now, And again, when your version and your contribution to this dialogue, you do not have to do a resist technique. That is just sort of what I saw with these white dots on this colorway. You could choose to do, you could choose to do a resist technique with other colors completely, or you could choose to do, other kinds of speckles or no speckles at all. Again, like different. Part of the fun of these ChemKnits dialogues is that different people will see different things from a picture and be inspired to play with colors in different ways. And so one of the things I'm curious about is how we all go about this differently. And it should be hopefully a lot of fun. And one other sort of like announcement kind of thing. Yesterday I did restock the hand-dyed yarns dyed in these ChemKnits tutorials YouTube videos in the ChemKnits Creations Etsy store. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. The link's also in the iCard and video description. But there's a bunch of new yarn, including the unraveled sock blanks that I dyed in the October ChemKnits dye-along. So if you really love those gradients, those are currently in the shop. All right, now I'm not sure if my colors are good here or not, but again, we are going to be playing with resist techniques, and I'm going to be mixing a lot of different purples out of food coloring. I don't know for sure if I'm going to go straight for Wilton's Violet. I'm planning on using the Wilton Colorite Performance Color System because I think it's really easy to mix colors, it's really easy to adjust the colors, and it's really easy to reproduce colors as well. So just like as an example, the colors, unfortunately, reds don't show up as well as I would like, and purples are hard to show up on camera. So I think that this is way more pink and fuchsia than it shows. But here is some dip-dyed broken violet on a Stellina Astral Glimmer base. And it's beautiful. It's sort of, if I hold it this way a bit, it can fit this picture. It's got some glimmer in it from stars. But the one thing, and I don't think I'll be able to share this easily on a live stream, is that, you can kind of see the Stellina where there's red number 3 did pick up some color. It did get stained pink. So that's just one thing to keep in mind if you are using something with like sparkle in it, that whatever dyes you use could stain those fibers. But this dip-dyed broken violet skein with the on the Stroll Glimmer base is currently in the ChemKnits Creations Etsy store. It's not new, it's been in there for a while. And then here's a skein that is featured in a video this morning, but is not currently in the shop. So far I've held on to it. But this one, the colors maybe even fit. It's a tad bit green, I think, for what we're doing. But again, the colors don't have to match exactly. It is the feel. This is sort of a recreation of one of the colorway number 8 that I did in the last Mystery Dip Dye-a-thon. It was a mixture, a colorite and purple, where we mixed black, pink, and blue. And I did it on a Wool of the Andes base in that live stream. And then today I shared a video where I just tried it again on a Stroll base. And I will bring these up on the other camera to see if the colors are better. But again, you can break purples and get vastly different yarns. But I think that this had, maybe around 30 drops of the colorite food coloring. And this was a ½ teaspoon of the Wilton's Violet icing color. I don't think I've tried a full teaspoon of the icing color, but clearly I think you could take more food coloring on yarn than we have here. But so that's, I guess, our setup. The Stellina, it's something synthetic, probably a plat. In general, it does not take up dye, but I think that there are warnings, like maybe you don't want to use it with citric acid because you could dull the shine. And also they sort of give a warning on the Wool to, this one was from Knit Picks, but they give a warning on the Wool to Dye For website to not use too much dye because it could affect it. So I have no idea. I have no idea. I haven't looked up what selena is made out of. But all of those are very, very possible. All right, let me come up and I'm going to, okay, hide our galaxy for a minute. I will be popping the galaxy back up throughout this. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, hopefully I'm going to be able to see chat as I am up here. Okay. Ooh, the contrast looks down. So this is one of those times when I really could use a assistant. Not that I could pay for an assistant. And I know that my new skein winder, Triss, I said, is basically my assistant. But while she can really help with fiber prep, she is not so good with, well, she really helps with fiber prep. She is not very good with live streams. Increase. I'm like holding my hand here as I'm messing with the settings. I don't know if you guys can even see. I don't know if you guys can see until I press play. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to dye all of these. I'm certainly going to pick a few. If there's one that you see, oh, Oz Quilter, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, thank you. I don't know if I'm going to get to all these. I just pulled a bunch of yarn because I want to play with a bunch of different yarn bases as well as techniques. A lot of times when I'm doing something new, I reach for the same things over and over and over. And that is partly because it's my comfort zone. And it's easy to go back to your comfort zone so then you can compare what works and what doesn't work. But yeah, I just pulled some things. And I don't know if I'm going to be doing a blanket all today. Maybe I brought one down just in case. But this I brought out mainly because they are 50% off at Knit Picks right now. $10. Seriously, $10. And, whoops. Yeah, there's a link to the, I will say this video is not sponsored by Knit Picks. I am a Knit Picks affiliate. I have been for a year or so, but I have been using their yarns for almost a decade, and I buy everything here myself. But $10, seriously $10. If I convince you to buy some yarn, affiliate links are in the video description, and sometimes I drop them in the chat, which I might do right now. But that is an easy way to help support the channel. Oh, whoops, that's an affiliate link. It's a very easy way for you to support the channel. All right, but cool. And then the other things, so you can also find links to, I've got the reusable zip ties in the video description. I've got, and here's some that I've used already. I've got, what else is in the video description? The Color Right system. And the last thing that's in there is, my hot plate, which I did not pick out myself. Keith got this for me, but I have a link to it also in the video description. Okay, before we do some resist techniques, and let me know for some of the ones that are more labor intensive, I've got Cadena, which is Peruvian Highland Wool Superfine Alpaca 70/30. I've got Chroma Twist Bulky, which I just bought a bunch more of, which is 70% superwash wool, 30% nylon. Big O, I don't know if this one's on sale, but this one is 50% superwash merino, 50% nylon. And then I've got the Stroll Glimmer. But I went ahead and grabbed an old favorite, just some Swish DK, because I honestly don't know how well using the zip ties will work. So I was like, let's try it on something that I have a lot of. Okay. So I'm going to do this in a few different kind of ways. And I'm really just going to place the zip tie around. Oh dear. Okay, apparently you can pull them too tight. I got a little snag. Shoot. Oh, we're fine. Okay, apparently don't pull it too tight because they will be kaput. I was like, ooh, I'm going to pull this as tight as I can. Yeah, don't do that. Oh, we learn something new every day. Oh, I see. Is there a limit? Oh, no, I should be able to tighten it a little more. Okay. All right, so that is on there nice and tight. I'm going to do these sort of like randomly placed. Now this will provide some resist points. We will not be getting speckles exactly because, you know, we will get like potentially a white or a light blue patch that sort of radiates out, but it's going to be like a little different. And the other thing is these nylon ties will take up some color. I am also a little curious, and right here I'm going to do one around the whole thing. Oh, can you see me? Here at the bottom. I'm going to do one more over here. Okay. So here, I guess, as I like move everything around, here is our sort of like, oh, I can turn down these stoves. I started heating water on the stovetop so that way I could then move the pot over here without waiting like forever. But I also wanted to do one quickly so that way I could start pre-soaking it. But I want to grab a picture of this because I think it is so cool. Okay. So this one, I'm just plopping it into some plain tap water. I don't know if I'm going to do a full, usually I try to do 20 to 30 minutes. I'm not sure exactly how much I'll do, but we'll work in prepping other fiber, and this way there'll be something ready to go. Let's see. You dyed a sparkle salt base and magenta acid dye and over dyed with turquoise, and it looks like my inspiration picture. Ooh. Huh. Yeah, the suggestion to do like maybe additive drops and leave some spots like uncovered to be like the stars on the blank. That's a really good suggestion. It felt, because I thought about that too, it felt very similar to one of the ones I did in October. And so I wanted to try to do something differently. Okay, so I'll let you guys let me know in the comments, which one should I start with? I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And where did my, I had some like acrylic pieces I had already cut. Apparently those, oh, they're over here. So like, okay. So a nice reason to use the acrylic yarn is that it, what's it? The acrylic yarn has different, it won't take up color here. I wonder how much of a delay there is today. All right, well, if there's no votes, then maybe let's go with this chroma twist. But let me know which other ones you might want to see the most. Okay. So yeah, those zip ties, you could definitely put like more of them in. I'll move you over. But one of the reasons why I did pick bulky yarns today is that it would be a little easier for me to like partition off. But here, oh, that's pretty. I am going to do, this is something which actually I think I did on chroma, not chroma twist once, but I am putting the acrylic yarn through strands, tying a knot, putting it through another one, tying a knot, and I will carry this on down the length. And the reason why I'm picking only a few strands at a time instead of doing all of it at once is that we end up with something that is a little bit wider here. Like if I did it all at once, it would be squished together. And this one gives us a tiny bit more surface area for the strands around the tie. And then I'm going to double knot it there. And so that is the first one. And you can see I did not do it straight because if you want them to be random, then you can like pull and bunch at it differently as we go around. Oh, Needleworks Canada, thank you so much for the super chat. They say, thanks for being there with your videos. I'm so happy to be dining with you today. Money well spent and better than any movie or other paid entertainment. Thank you so much. Okay, Big O, it looks like Big O is the request for the next one, which I think will be fun because maybe I'll do the crochet thread on that one. But yeah, I wish I should figure out how to get another. The other bummer thing is, so like my dreams of an assistant, I don't think that I can. Oh, I wonder if I want to do that technique on the Big O. There's like another version that I wanted to try. Maybe I'll do that one on the Big O. Is that in my, like, there's some people that maybe could help me, but I think that someone needs to physically be here to adjust the live stream settings. I don't think someone can do that remotely, which is hard. Yeah, so you can see how I tied these in a way that they are not even, and you can even like randomly pull different strands. And then, you know, in the end, when it's all cut, then that could be adjusted too. So, yep. Oh, now I'm thinking of Land Before Time, which I really do want to show my kids, but I think that it could scare them right now. That was the first movie I ever saw in theaters when I was about Lucas's age, actually. But I don't know if he can handle it. The dinosaur shows he's used to are like Dinosaur Trained, which are a little bit different than, say, Sharptooth. And I mean, I definitely have not shown him, will not show him Jurassic Park for a long time. With that one, which is honestly my favorite movie ever, which is funny because I don't like suspense and scary stuff very much. But for Jurassic Park, my parents made me read the book before I was allowed to watch the movie. All right. Let's see if there's any. I'm so glad so many of you could join. It really like makes me so happy. And then as for the purples, I'm not going to do the same purple on each one. I know that once I want to do the purple that I did in the video today. I also really want to do, and then we might like do some variations on that, whether it's like add more blue, add more black, add a different red, you know, maybe we'll do one that's like blue and burgundy, etc., etc. So and okay, that's 4. Yeah, this can take some time. Okay, but the other thing I really wanted to do on this one, so we're getting some like speckles, and maybe I'm not going to do the whole thing. Maybe I'm going to do this on half and leave the other half undone, but I also want to wrap it. And so now I'm doing a section. I cut a longer piece. I maybe cut a piece that's too long. I'm tying a knot. Maybe I should double knot it. So now I'm tying a knot all the way around. And then for some space, I am wrapping this just around and around. Not super, I'm going to pull it once I bring the other one over, but that's that way. And then the other one's going to go the other way. And hopefully we'll see. Oh, sorry if I moved off camera, guys. All right. So we've got this. It's not very tightly wound up, but maybe it'll give us something like, maybe it'll give us something kind of cool. Okay. Oh, wow, Tangled Cat, thank you so much. You knew you'd be at work today. This is why you dyed yours last night when you got home, but you're watching now in between calls. Oh, I didn't know you're a 911 operator. Thanks for being a bright spot in your day. Well, thank you so much for joining me. You know, it's really funny. A lot of times when you guys post stuff on like Facebook and Instagram, sometimes that helps me like put, like I'll know names on on Facebook from the Chemnitz lab group, and I'll see names that I recognize a lot here on YouTube or on Instagram, but then sometimes I don't put them together very well. And so it's fun when I can be like, oh yeah. So that's the fun thing about like when you guys post on Facebook and the Instagram thread. And oh, if you post on Instagram, I will give your Instagram handle as the photo credit for the dialogue. But if you post on Facebook, let me know if you'd rather I use an Instagram handle or if you want me to just use your first name. Otherwise, I will default to like your full name on Facebook. So yeah, that's just something to let me know. I think I want to move this one down a little more. See, I can't really slide the whole thing down, but at least I can like shift that. But yeah, I might dip dye this one like with the resists on one side and then the other stuff on the other. I think that could be cool. I think I need a projector, then I could see the comments on the wall. So thinking about what we could do that we don't stop to think about whether we should. One of my favorite quotes. That's great. Yeah, oh gosh, and how about that Paradise Fibers Fiber of the Month Club? I shared my favorite quote from that on Instagram, but yeah, I love a good Jurassic Park. Ooh, I should do Jurassic Park yarn. I guess that would be a little hard. I mean, I could do the characters, but some of the dinosaurs would be a little hard to be like, oh yeah, that's totally so-and-so. But I'm undecided on how I feel on the most recent Jurassic World movie. I really enjoyed Jurassic World, the first one, and I thought that was possibly the second best movie in the franchise. Although I like The Lost World. But I think that was one of the first movies I went to with friends, like without parents. But I mean, yeah, I liked The Lost World fine. But yeah, I don't want to give any spoilers, but how I feel about Fallen Kingdom will really depend on what they do with the third installment. Because it's interesting, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't like it when things don't feel complete. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Because I know you guys are all tuning in for my Jurassic Park thoughts. Oh, gosh. Oh, I just need to ramble while I'm tying a lot. So yes, this kind of technique is a lot of work. This is more work than the zip ties. But one of the reasons why I'm doing it is because, yes, and there are different yarn bases, so it's not going to be like 100% comparison. But one of the reasons why I'm doing this is so we can see like, okay, do we like the effect we get from the zip ties? Do we like the effect from this? Like what do we like the best? What don't we like? And then that can help us make some decisions on like what else you might want to do. So by only doing like these speckles on half of the yarn, or these resist points on half of the yarn, that is going to mean that we only, it's going to be semi like repeating-esque in that it could pool, the speckled areas could spiral. I mean, I guess as far as like a dip dyed colorway, that is semi-repeating already. But yeah, just to keep in mind. But this whole resist section that I'm doing could all just be relatively pale. So we will just have to see. Okay, I think I did. Okay, I think, yeah, it's about half. Let me. I'm trying to grab pictures of these beforehand, so that way when they're dry, when I do the recap, I can sort of be like, oh, this is what we did on this one, etc., etc. Dino yarn. Oh man. Oh, I hate when where's the shadow of my light? There we go. I'd rather have like a shadow from my hand than, or maybe I'll just do it like this. All right, I am going to pop this into the pre-soak, and it had been about 15 minutes since I put the other one on, so I am going to come and set up the hot plate. So then we can dip dye some as we prep more fiber. And then if there's like not a lull, but if there's a point where there's a period of time that like we need to just sit and wait, I have a box from Dharma Trading Company that I thought we could do a few birds with one stone and open up. Don't worry, I'll make sure that this comes into view. So in general, I don't necessarily, I'm not like, sorry. Okay, that is a little bit hot. I like the hot plate fine. I have no real complaints about it. It's just, it takes a long time to heat up. And okay, I'm gonna need to like adjust this. It takes a long time to heat up. I don't think my complaints are really about this particular hot plate as much as just electric burners in particular. So, hi guys, now you can see me. The problem is, I'm trying to figure out where I can put this so that way maybe it's going to be hard. It's on my thing. Okay. Okay, so you can see like a little bit above at least. I want to still make sure I have like a decent amount of workspace. How high? Okay. Get that heating up. Yes, the Big O yarn is the one I'm going to start prepping next. It's funny, I forgot that that was the one you guys requested for a minute, and then I was going to reach for the Stroll Glimmer, but okay. This is Big O. It is 50% superwash merino, 50% nylon. And let's do some crochet cotton on it. This yarn is so thick and fluffy that if we get some like tiny resist points, I mean, I really also want to just like wrap it with this, but I think, oh, indecision, guys. I do have more of this Big O. I got this on sale with the Halloween sale. So just going to cut off a bunch of lengths of this. But now, as long as we always have like one soaking. I mean, there's no way, I think, even with resist, I mean, that's not true. I could go and spend like 5 hours tying little bits, little knots around this all over. And then you could really get something that looks very much like those stars in the sky. However, let's be honest, not many of us have that amount of time to dedicate to prep fiber for dyeing, but it's something that could also be really, really fun. And if I only, of course now I'm like, well, of course that's what I want is the teeny, but again, like this is a reason why I picked some bulky yarns today. It's that I want to have like some fewer strands to deal with. Now, Big O dyes beautifully. I've only dyed it a handful of times so far, and it has made me really, really happy every time that I've dyed it. Those are our 20 minutes. And now we're just waiting for this to heat up enough. I did start with the water warm, so at least we have that. Yeah. The other issue I have with the hot plate is that if it gets too hot, it can be hard to get it to cool back down quickly. So in general, I prefer the gas stove. But for something like today, when we've got like a lot of prep that I want to show, it makes sense to use the hot plate. I also really like it when there's something that I need to do outside because it is portable. What was I going to say? Well, maybe I should mix I'll finish this like spot and then we'll mix some color and then I'll come back and continue working on our Big O. What was I saying? Goodness me, you guys. I cannot remember. If I got a second webcam, then I could hop back and forth between the counter and the stove easily. Although I don't know if I'd be able to set up the computer connected to both cameras easily. But one of my Black Friday hopes is to get another webcam. I'm holding out for like a good deal, and I would even be willing to get one that is slightly more expensive than the one I'm currently using. But if any of you have like any good webcam recommendations, please let me know. Okay. So tying this thread, this is functionally like if you were going to do a butterfly tie to keep things ordered. This is very much like that, except this is tighter. So, but in terms of like grabbing a little bit, with a butterfly tie, you want it to be really, really loose. And I am going to set you aside and let's check the chat. possibly the time, but absolutely not the patience for that type of dyeing. Yes, I'm doing different types of resist. I did one that's like super fast, one that took a little more time, and I'm doing one that's a bit more labor intensive. And I am sharing this. I'm like gonna share it to my Instagram stories, but I'm not putting any text on it. I mean, we are watching a pot. What? Maybe I'm not adding it to my Instagram stories. All right, I will play with that later. No. Oh, phone. I'm like not the most social media savvy person. Okay. I am. I've got some cups. Guess I only really need one right now because I've got one pot. But oh man, have you guys seen those jam trays, which can fit on top like your entire stove? I think it's so it can like fit in the whole oven for canning purposes. Ooh, they look amazing, and it looks like you do so many colors at once. All right, and here is half a cup of water, and oh, I want to add a tablespoon of white vinegar to our dye pot. I had just been heating water so far. All right, that's approximately one. Approximately. Let's do. All right, let's do this color. Oh, where's my diary? Okay, so the first one is going to be the stroll that we did the zip ties on, really, really quick. And I think, or not the stroll, the swish decay. I think I want to go for this colorway, which sort of fits. Oh, right. Let me put the inspiration photo up for a minute. Okay, so this yarn that I did sort of already fits it pretty well. But when I picked the photo, then I looked at this yarn and I was like, oh wait, this video is coming out the same day I'm going to do the stream. That is funny. But that is the November inspiration photo for the Chemnitz Style Along. Uh-oh. Yes, I'm live right now. Okay, so I want to do that again, but we're going to do that with the resist and then see what we get. I need some gloves so that way I don't stain my hands. And where is my color right? I want to look at the inspiration photo again real quick. Okay, there's also, like, in some views it looks like there's not very much pink, and otherwise it looks like there's more. This is going to have a lot of pink in it. I might also want to try a color that they have in here as a blue, but it's blue, red, and pink. And so that is one that I might want to try at some point today as well. Although, guys, I'm having doubts. Do I want to go straight to that? I want to do something a little different on the swish. If I end up doing the same color over and over, it's just because I love it. All right. Got my blue. Oh, I want to put these on a little plate, I think. And there was a question at the beginning on if, you guys could do the dye along with acid dyes. You could do it on cotton. Like, you don't need to do any of the same things that I am doing. Red, crimson, and then, sorry, yellows, yellow, orange, and brown. Ironically, yellow is the color I used up the fastest. This color chart right here, this comes with the Wilton Colorite system. This is like an insert in their package. And I use this as like a jumping point for a lot of colors because it gives information on the relative proportions. For example, that if you want a green, you need way more yellow than blue. Way, way, way more yellow than blue. Okay. So for number 1, oh, I should use a different pen. Not one of my glittery gel pens. Okay. Number 8. Come up there on swish with zip ties. Okay, and the swish dye is really, really similarly to stroll. I've already turned the heat down on here, but we are going to do 9 drops of the base black. I'm not sure if you guys can tell just how viscous this is, but these colors are really, really concentrated. 12 drops of pink. And then 10 drops of blue. Yeah, these colors are incredibly concentrated. So what that is, 31 drops? No. Yeah, 31 drops of food coloring. And with the same, I've used like with McCormick's, like closer to 100. Now maybe these drops are larger. They are absolutely more viscous. Wilton made this line to create extremely saturated colors. Okay, and so this color, just off the fork, looks like a deep sort of eggplanty purple. And it just breaks absolutely beautifully. Yes, and again, I want to thank some of you. Some of you guys have already very generously given super chats. If you aren't as familiar with these live streams and wonder, why a chat popped up with a certain color, there is a $sign at the bottom of the chat, which is sort of like a tip jar / yarn fund. And so it's just a way to contribute directly to all things ChemKnits. There's a few other ways that you can support ChemKnits. The biggest one is making sure you're subscribed to the channel. Give this live stream a like, give videos that you enjoy a like. That is a huge, huge, huge helpful thing. What else you can do? Another thing that you can do is if you would like to support ChemKnits on a recurring basis, on a regular schedule, you can become a ChemKnits patron through the ChemKnits Patreon. There's a link in the video description and iCard, and basically you sign up and you get some cool perks like early access to new yarn dyeing videos, maybe advance notice of shop restocks, etc. So those are some really easy ways. And I suppose if you want to use my link for the Knit Picks Big Sale, that's another way. What did you miss? Not much. I am just getting started with the first colorway. This is a purple. I know, Nicole, that you watched this video earlier today already. And so I'm doing basically the same color, but I've got these zip tie resists on this first one. And I can turn up the heat a tiny bit again, but I'm now going to add the color into the pot, stir it up. This is really, really concentrated, and we are going to start dip dyeing. And hopefully these ties will not cause too much trouble. I don't want to go too slow, but I also don't want to go too fast. You can see just how pigmented this is. Yeah, there's still some purples there. I may have gone in a little too fast. Because the problem with using resist or something is that you, oh, I've got some nice blues there now. You reduce the amount, when you're doing a resist technique, you are reducing the available fibers for the dye to absorb. You've got a little less surface area because things are bunched up more, which means that things can dip a bit slower than maybe you're used to. So in this first one, and I'm now going to set a timer for 10 minutes, and hopefully you guys were able to see some of that, but there's still a lot of blue in here. I know I will need to add some more vinegar in a little bit, but in this first one, this is just 100% superwash wool. It's a lot of food coloring in there, but I want to see what will happen, and how much color will these nylon zip ties absorb? Because if they absorb too much color, which it doesn't look like they're taking away from what the yarn is doing, that could affect just the overall colors as well. Oh, Danielle Williams, thank you so much for the fiber chat. One of my favorite things about the fiber arts community is the support we show each other. I've benefited from a lot of generosity of other fiber artists. Here's a little way I can keep it going. Thank you so much. The colorway that I used today was actually the same one that I did this morning in a standalone edited video. It was 9 drops black, 12 drops pink, 10 drops blue from the Color Right system. And so that's what, yes. So on one of, yes. So I've got soaking some Chroma Twist, which had resist sort of on one side and not on the other. And that I use the acrylic ties. And now I'm going to get back to working on Big O as we sort of let this heat up and absorb. Okay. And here's my diary. Whew, you guys are awesome. I love this. And oh, actually, I'm going to run and grab a sip of a beverage. I put my beverage in. Oh my gosh. I wish there was a way that I could do something like this in person sometime. That would be really, really cool to like have, I don't know, just have like a space. I don't know, so like rent a commercial kitchen or something, and then have like a little like retreat where we could all like do some yarn dyeing together. I have no idea how to make something like that happen, but it's just like a little dream in my head. Oh, there was a house in the neighborhood, like right near us that was for sale recently, and there's no way we could afford another house, but part of me was like, but it could be a perfect studio. Maybe someday I'll have my own commercial space, and then I could do like a proper like filming studio setup. That is the dream. It's like hashtag daydreaming with Chemnitz. I don't know. I'm not good at creating hashtags. Yeah, I know. I dream. I would love. I think that. Yeah. If I know that some of you larger companies end up watching some of this stuff sometimes, and if any of you want to help me figure something like that out, I would be very happy. All right. Yeah, I'm hoping, even though, because, and a bummer is that you know, even if I can go to, and I don't think I can this year, but say I could go to like Vogue Knitting New York sometime. You know, we would, if I go to a big conference, I would let you guys know so we could try to do some kind of meetup. But I don't think that I would be able to like arrange, you know, for a space to actually do some yarn dyeing. But yeah. Although I wonder how many of you guys are local to like New England, if maybe we could just do some like meetup out here sometime. I do have a detached garage. There is no water or insulation out there. So that is the problem. I know a lot of people who convert sheds into beautiful like studios. What I really wish, so my house is a slab. I wish that I had a basement. Because if we had a basement, then I would talk to Keith about like putting in a little kitchen. Basically, we almost moved to Pennsylvania before we moved back to Boston, and there was the house that we were looking at had a kitchen in the basement, and I'm now just thinking, oh man, that would have been Chemnitz land. But I digress. I don't even like that house was. Let's just say real estate is very different in different parts of the country. Because while Keith was job hunting, we visited lots of places, and basically while he was being like recruited and places were telling him this is why you should come here, then usually they'd arrange for a realtor to take me around and then one day take us around and show us like houses and stuff. But yeah, and oh goodness, this week I was hoping to do so much filming, and I was gonna try to do like another live stream on Wednesday, but then on Tuesday Lucas came home sick, and he's fine. It was basically like a 24-hour thing, but because he came home from school with a fever on Tuesday, he couldn't go to school on Wednesday, and yeah. Okay, the color is definitely absorbing, but I have a feeling I will add more vinegar. Well, if I don't add more vinegar, I could use the same pot. Oh, decisions. Okay. I'm going really, really slow on this one, but I'm sort of curious. I think I might put more space. I want to do enough on here that it looks intentional versus like, oh, it's like an accident. You know, you tied a tie too tight. But that is basically the technique I'm doing. I'm putting ties on and I am tying them really, really tight. No. Is there any chemical resist that could be speckled on before dyeing? Today I'm just doing physical resists. There are some chemical resists that you can do, and I'm not sure how well they would work on yarn. I know that there's ones that you can use, say, on silk and on fabric, but it could be harder. Like I know you can do a resist with, for example, glue. And like Elmer's glue is something that can rinse out, but I don't know if it would rinse out completely, if it would leave some stiffness behind. So is it possible? Yeah. But I'm not sure how well it will work. I actually prepped something to play with some glue resist at one point, and then I haven't gotten to it yet. So that is in my head. But today I also don't really recommend using bleach. When I did the undying, which was a lot of fun, it absolutely the RIT color remover definitely affected the integrity of the wool fibers. And it's not really supposed to do that, but it did. So therefore, you know, any kind of color removing type speckling, I would be hesitant to try. But again, if you're doing this dye-along, you do not have to do a resist technique. This is just my interpretation of these pictures. You could do just, you know, a dip dyed gradient. There's many, many things that you could do to make this your own. So, good morning, good morning. All right. I'm going to reduce you a little more and turn on the heat on another pot as I keep working on this friend. I mean, I kind of want to see how the other one turns out on the breaking color. I do want to take one of these and sort of like wrap it with this thin thread at some point. I've done that before on coffee dyed yarn. Oh, there we go. I've done that a few times, but I really want to, yeah, okay. This water has actually almost cleared, but I am going to add a little more vinegar. I've wrapped things a few times, but not with something that breaks as easily or where color absorbs as quickly. I'm just adding 2 tablespoons of white vinegar to our pot. And yeah. Ooh, did I see? I'm not sure. Okay. Let that go. And large overhand knots on the skein. Lots of 3-part pattern. Oh, cool. You're choosing your toddler right now. Okay, so the recipe that is in the pot right now is 9 drops of black, 12 drops of pink, and 10 drops of blue. It is the same mixture that is in a standalone edited video that I did today. And yeah, I'm just really, really happy. Let's see. Yeah, I think next I want to do that one that is more blue with a little less pink in it. But again, like with any of these things, like I've hand for videos, I have hand crocheted blanks, and things like that take a couple hours. So again, with any kind of yarn dyeing, doing these kinds of resists might not be for you. Now, doing a zip tie one might, that's why I started with one that was really fast and easy, because I wanted to have one that was a little less labor intensive. But speaking of labor intensive, oh goodness, I did I was editing a video, which is I think the most edited video I have ever done here on the channel. Not the most edited video I've ever done ever, but the most edited yarn dyeing video ever. And that will come out sometime the week after Thanksgiving, I think. But, oh gosh, and then I exported it last night, and then it had some like text overlays and sections, and I realized like in this one sequence, like one of them was moved strangely, and it took me like 5 hours to export the video or something ridiculous, which doesn't involve me doing anything. I just can't edit another video while that's going on. And so I was just like, come on. Oh, it's my pleasure. Ooh, so by tying large overhand knots like on the skein, like you mean like something like that? Because that could be cool too. If that's Dara, if that's what you did, let me know, because I am very intrigued. Okay. Yeah, but with the and if you're since some people are just joining in, I want to pull up, this is the inspiration photo from today. And so one of the things when I saw this picture, first of all, I was like, broken purple, yay. And then the other thing that I looked at were these white spots. And I was really, really inspired by that. Oh, Dara, that sounds fantastic. And so, yeah, I mean, you could, again, you can interpret this picture when you do this yourself in any kind of way. You could even do a different color. It's sort of your choice. Like, are you inspired by the color? Are you inspired by the gradient? Are you inspired by the speckles? And I wasn't able to get my acid dye tools out today. Also, I just accidentally broke my last dust mask. So one of the things in that Dharma box I'll be opening up is some new personal safety equipment. But what was I going to say? The dust mask. Oh, you could do black speckles, purple speckles. So you could do like an inverse of the picture. There's many ways to look at a picture and think, ooh, the goal of this is to have a picture where you look at it and think, ooh, this makes me want to do X on yarn, and then go for it. And then as I was picking pictures, I wanted to pick one that had a different, I mean, these are similar colors to a video I just did today, but I wanted to pick different kinds of colors from the October Chemnitz dye-along. And this picture initially, I was like, oh, that's too much like the colorway I do all the time. But I kept coming back to this picture, and it gave me an excuse to do a lot of resist techniques. I think if I were not hanging out with you live, I would start to be a little bored with tying these ties right now. How many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do want to do them on the rest of the yarn on this one, though. Yes, the tighter the knots, the more the color resists. Absolutely. Oh, I can make the image go away. Sorry, guys. Let's check on, I didn't set a timer, but let's check on this color. Okay, we are about clear here. I am, where am I going to put you? Okay, you can come over here. All right, I need an oven mitt. This is basically clear. I'm going to leave it in the pot for a couple more minutes, but I'm moving it, basically removing it from heat and moving over another pot. It's like in my, I feel like a cooking show right now. Move over another pot so that way we can dip the next yarn, and then I'll come back and keep tying on this resist. Okay, let's mix another color. All right, so this time, the first color was one that during one of those mystery live streams I got by rolling the dice. This time I am going to go with a color that is a Wilton Color Right recommendation. So it is that blue there. I have mixed a version of this blue, sort of. Chroma twist. Bulky. So it's going to be 26 blue. I'm going to need to buy more Color Right. 8 red, 4 pink. And this is with acrylic line yarn. I have mixed this color before, but not at this concentration. When I have mixed this in the past, I've done, what did I think I did? I think I did like 8 drops of blue, or maybe 7 drops of blue, 2 drops of red, and 1 of pink. You know, I did something to try to like reduce the total amount. But it's funny, when I started running low on colors, I bought a whole second Color Right kit because that was like more cost effective, but I might need to just go big and get a bunch of blue with like the next time I have a coupon for Michael's. I'm actually going to be like not at home, so I'm not going to be Black Friday shopping in person, but 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And then this is 4 drops of pink. Did I write this down? Yes, I did. Okay. 4 drops of pink and then 8 drops of red. And the Wilton base red has red 40 and red number 3 in it. 1, 2, 4. I think of all the colors, the red is the most viscous. It is incredibly, incredibly viscous. Probably because if you want to make true red food coloring, it just requires so much color. And yeah, I know that it's something that makes things hard for like cake decorators and whatnot. And that's one of the reasons why I think they did this ultra concentrated food coloring. So this was 8 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. All right, and I still have to mix up this color. Of course, I'm removing my gloves because I am goofy. So this one is going to be very, very blue. But we should still get some purple hints in here. So this is this one that we just mixed. And the other one has spread out more. It's pretty similar actually to the one we did with the black. But the black one, definitely, black has some yellows in it. So it is different, but it's very similar. We're doing like a lot of similar fronts today. Okay. So on this one, with this bulky skein, I have resist on about half of it. And I don't know if the Chroma Twist Bulky technically shows up in under Bare Yarns on the Knit Picks website, but it is on sale right now. It does show up on like the Chroma Twist Bulky page though. And no, not too much. And I'm going to drop the big sale link into the chat. All right, so this one, if you're just tuning in, I tied with acrylic ties resist sort of around. Oh my goodness, I got some dye on me up there. How did I do that? Oh well. I've got resist on about half of it. Let's pour in this color into our pot. And then immediately start dip dyeing. Oh dear. Those acrylic guys aren't going to really take any color, but oh no, you don't want to go in, do you? Having to help her. She did pre-soak for a while. Of course I don't have my tongs handy. Ooh, that's like a really dark purple. Sometimes you got to use what you have on hand. I'm wondering. And so different yarns also, still fairly purple. Different yarns absorb color at different rates. Okay, we're getting into blues now. Maybe. I'm going in with the rest because it's getting heavy. Okay. There might still be some like purple overtones there, but I think we're at our blues. I'm really curious to see like what we're going to see, because you can see we're getting almost some speckles just from the fact that I don't think it's evenly wet, and so from just the way that the colors are absorbing. Okay. Did the acrylic take weird? Okay. I think there's this one little spot right there, which I know we're going for like resist points, but for some reason, come on, guy. It's got like a bubble in it. All right. Oh, but there is some nice leftover dye in here. All right, I am going to set a timer for 10 minutes. And then we'll add more vinegar if needed. And I'm going to remove our zip tie friend from the pot so it can cool a bit, and then I can, ow. Okay, that one tie was hot. I was trying to pick up by just like one, by all 4 zip ties. Ooh, it's really hot. Yikes. So here is Mr. Zip Tie. Ooh! Nancy Richmond, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. And Amy, ooh, you've made 4 purchases from Knit Picks this week. Yeah, I've only done two big ones so far. I plan to do one more before the sale ends. I sort of like wait to see like what the daily deal is in case I'm ready to pull the trigger then. But all the things that like I absolutely needed are already like in my on their way here. I have like a whole strategy. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside so I can keep working on our Big O. Yeah, but I think they had the a 15% off coupon. Now, I get asked this sometimes, like, oh, are they going to do a big % off coupon for Black Friday? I don't know. Last year, they did do, I think, a 20% off coupon for Black Friday. I don't remember if it was Black Friday or Cyber Monday. They did do a Black Friday sale. It was separate from the big sale. But I always like to caution, like, if there's something, basically the yarns from the big sale that I go for are the ones that are 30, 40, and 50% off. And it's something like the sock blanks, which are 50% off right now, so they're $10 a blank. Something like that is like, that's a way better deal than getting the bulk discount as the 20 pack. These individual prices do not stack with like bulk bare yarn packages, but when they do a blanket 20% off coupon, those do stack with the bare yarn purchases. So it's sort of part of my strategy when it goes to shopping the big sale. But the other thing is, last year, whenever they did a big % off coupon, the yarn that I buy the most, like the Stroll and Will of the Indies, were always on back order. So it was always really like frustrating because I was like, I would make a massive purchase now, but I cannot because the yarn I want is not there. But I will make a different massive purchase. So I have more material for videos. So that I find amusing. But this year, I was able to get some of the bulk packs because they've like stocked up on a lot of the bare yarns in a very good way this year. So, but yes, things might start going out of stock after the big sale. So if there's something that you need, I wouldn't wait because looking at patterns from previous years, I don't know. I do have a hunch that one of the reasons why they raised prices recently is because they do like every couple months one of these % off sales. And so then if they have a sale and people like spend a lot of money at it, then yeah, they make money. Let's see. Nitpicks addicts, raise your hand. Raise my hand. Me. Ooh, yes, I want to, Dara, I want to use permanent markers. I actually have a set of Sharpies from when I was a teenager. So extracting some of the color, I would not draw with them exactly on the blank. I think that what I would do would be, I would extract the color like I did with the highlighters, and then use that and you use that highlighter color to, oh goodness, I would then use that, sorry guys, I would then use that to dye the yarn. I think that when I've tried using any kind of marker, fabric marker, tie-dye marker on yarn in the past, the tips dry out so quickly that it just makes things difficult. But actually, all right, I think that I am going to go for, here, I'm going to sit down for a minute. I'm like halfway through that one, but yes, an alcohol ink is like something else that you can buy that I plan to hopefully try at some point. So those are like things on my radar. My radar is always really, really huge. I am going to go for, I think I'm going to send you guys for a brief commercial break. Yeah, so I will be back in a moment. Oh dear. Oh yeah, I guess I'll pop the image up while I'm gone. Not everyone will necessarily see the commercial. YouTube decides all of that. Here's my, sit down for a second before I get back to tying. But yeah, thank you guys for putting up with ads. I know that they can be a bit of a pain, but it is like a big source of revenue for my business. Although unfortunately, my views have gone up since I started Dye Pot Weekly and started really posting regularly, but in general, ad revenue as a whole is down, which is a little too bad, but. All right. Oh, crap. It's Friday. Friday, the kids get up early from school for Shabbat. Okay, so maybe this one might, well, I'll undo the zip tie one in a minute, but crap. Oh, I just remembered that I'm going to have to get him from school. Oh, the sigh, the sigh. Oh, guys, you know what? I mean, someone who hits this like isn't necessarily a troll. People are welcome to like or dislike whatever they want. But yes, if you enjoy my videos, please hit the like button on any videos that you like, and make sure you're subscribed to the ChemKnits Tutorials YouTube channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, I like to do yarn dyeing live streams, sometimes spinning live streams, but I always will share 2 edited yarn dyeing videos every week, at least. Usually most of them come out on Tuesday and Friday mornings at 8:30 a.m. Tuesdays will always be a new episode of Dye Pot Weekly, and then Fridays sometimes are a bonus Dye Pot Weekly or another kind of video. And whenever, yeah, sometimes we'll get a Leave No Dye Behind episode on like a midweek day. Depends on if I realize that it needs to come out sooner than I thought. All right, that timer has not gone off yet, but will be going off soon. Ooh, this is cool. Okay, but I'm curious about how, okay, zip tie is still pretty warm, but I'm going to see if I can squeeze out any color. Or maybe just hold it up and let some drip. In general, I'll try not to handle things too much. I just really want to see how the zip tie one looks, because that was so easy. Oh! La 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 la. I didn't spill water all over the hardwood floor. No, I did not. Oh gosh. Normally I keep this on like a rug, so if I spill, I can just like wipe it up easily. But all the rugs are up because we started potty training, which is going really well. It's still just a lot of work. Okay, that timer is going to go off. Oh. I pressed the like stop too soon. Okay. Yeah, this color is starting to clear, but again, I'm going to go ahead and add more vinegar to it. 1, 2, just to help these colors absorb. And I'm going to grab my tongs and just quickly lift and lower the yarn. That just sort of helps mix up that vinegar a tiny amount. All right, back to our Big O. It was clear water, not dye. Not dye. Thankfully. If it were dye, I think that I might have actually sworn on camera. I try to not swear in these videos because I know that some of you like to watch them like with your kids. So I try really hard to keep things family friendly. But I mean, I think sometimes I end up swearing in front of my own children. Tying knots, tying knots. Yeah, it's a lot easier to go for black speckles than it is to go for white speckles. Oh dear. And I know so removing these can be a little bit of a pain. But I find that like if you have like eyebrow scissors or some like applique scissors that have like a really sharp point, that can be really helpful. And so I'm purposefully not having these be even around. It may end up looking like, oh, she missed the mark with her like lack of evenness, but I do swear I am attempting to vary it slightly so that way these white resist points aren't 100% repeating. Oh goodness, okay. I did not, school used to get out at 3, but then Ryder still doesn't get out till 3:30 because yeah. Oh, preschool. But the school actually moved the pre-K to, yeah, anyway, I guess I don't want to talk too much about the school. But yeah, and then if you guys saw on Instagram, we are celebrating Christmas with Keith's family this weekend. So I'm actually like rushing to finish a gift for my sister-in-law, who is very knit-worthy. When I make her something, you know, she's worn a hat I made almost a decade ago. She still wears it. And so it's just, I don't have as much time to knit these days. Sometimes some things I can knit while I am editing, but yeah, a lot of times I've just been busier. I have lately done some spinning while watching movies and stuff at night, which has been really nice. But I always feel a little bit like I'm cheating if I'm spinning, not filming. Certainly, there've been some days where I was like, oh, maybe like the kids are a ruckus. I was like, I really wish I could just dye some yarn right now. And I know I could, but I was like, I would be not feel like I was cheating you guys, but I'd feel like I was cheating myself by not filming it. Because honestly, I don't take good notes always while I'm dyeing. I try to take more notes during live streams than otherwise, but my notes are the videos. So I can just go and like do things randomly, and then as I edit, I write down what I did. So if you're watching a video, not some of the old videos don't have this, but if you're watching a ChemKnits video and you see something that you really like, make sure, and you're curious like about how I did it, or you don't want to rewatch the whole video, check the video description, because I'll hot link various parts of the video, and I will like also write down like how many drops of what I used, etc. And I do that for two reasons. One, to give myself a cheat sheet. When someone asks a question, I can go and like find the relevant part of the video easily, but also to be a cheat sheet for you guys, in case there's just some quick information that you want on something I tried. So yeah, I was really hoping to film another video today, which I just do not think I'm going to get to. But that's because I'm having so much fun here, and there's still other, it's like the, if any of you guys know Elephant and Piggy books, it's like I've got more to give, more yarn to dye, more bananas. Yeah. I read that book a lot this weekend. It's my favorite Elephant and Piggy book. If you guys have kids or nieces or nephews or anything, Mo Willems, We Are in a Book, highly, highly, highly recommend. Yeah, I'm curious. All right, I'm going to add one more, and then we're going to open up those zip ties. I'm tempted to do one where I really just on all of it, just, I guess that's kind of what the zip ties are like. It's just a little thicker. I really want to, see what's it. Yeah, I guess some of these I might have to just reveal in the recap. Ooh, that'll be kind of fun. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what you guys come up with, because there are many ways to do resist that are not as labor intensive. Like, have the twisted hank of yarn and dye that. Again, the zip ties were a really fast way to do it. But one of the things with having this thin yarn is that we've got some surface area around the rest of it. So that is nice. And the other thing about this Big O skein that's nice is that this is, what color was it? Dove Heather. So it is heathered to begin with. It is a pale gray base. It's functionally, like, I think this is going to over dye very similarly to a bear yarn. Maybe if the colors were a little neon, they would be a hint less bright, but a pale gray. I bought this in the Halloween sale because they had like black, purple, gray, orange yarns and green maybe on sale. Maybe not green, but it was nice. But da-da-da-da! We did it. This one was labor intensive. I'll be honest, the crochet cotton I think is going to look really cool, but I don't think that it was my favorite to tie all this up. But I'm now going to pop this into that water that did not spill, so we can pre-soak it. And I'm going to take a little more time to make sure I push out some of that air. So I found that chroma twist really, like, it's a little harder to dip dye it. Okay. Let's come and open up. Well, let me see if I can squeeze out a little more water so I don't make a mess. There we go. So in general, what I'm about to do is like a do as I say, not as I do kind of moment. It's best to let things cool completely before you start removing ties. Oh, let's see the chat. You got these live streams end. Yes, a sock blank would be great. Sock blanks would be beautiful on this. Okay, let's see if I can. So these are, ooh, guys. Okay, wait. I want to take a picture of this before I started opening it and got real excited. But I want to. Shoot. Take a picture of this before. I'm trying to see. I guess I can have it diagonal. I don't have the space that I need on my counter. So it's not going to be as pretty a picture. You can't really see the colors that well. Okay. Did I miss? No, I didn't miss a strand. Okay. Now, let's remove. And if you're interested in these particular zip ties that I'm using, there is an affiliate link to it in the video description. But you guys, check that out. That is white. That is great. All the way through. And I did it across, like, I didn't just go around like the Hank ones. I went around both sections. And, okay, now that I'm touching it, maybe it's not white. Maybe it is pale, got some pale blue in it. So like a hint went through. And I don't think, like, it's not from me moving it right now. If you are concerned about your colors bleeding, then you can rinse the yarn before removing the resist points. But it can be hard for things to stay like a stark white. I will say the caution that I learned, if you try to tighten these all the way, then, oh, this is gorgeous. It's a pale blue there. If you try to tighten it all the way, you might break the zip tie. But so this one didn't feel, this one was not necessarily as tight. So this one isn't as bright. There's some places some dye did get through. So it's sort of like a darker patch. But then let's see. And so this is Swish DK. Oh, you guys, this is so cool looking. Okay, and then here's that last one. So I think of all of these, the ones that are the most white, trying to make it so you guys can see. The ones that are the most white are the ones where I went around both ends at once. But this is gorgeous. And again, these aren't really speckles, but could knit up really cool. It is a bit repeating, to be fair. I don't think my phone was unlocked. It is a bit repeating, but that is still just so cool. Oh, of course I like trying to just quickly get a picture. There we go. Trying to do it in the same orientation. I'm going to take a lot of pictures at the end. That is really cool. And that worked really, really well. And honestly, was really, really easy. And I feel like the one thing is if you try to put them too close together, you will start to see some breaking in the middle of some of these areas because, so like if I have two ties tight right here, there is functionally some resist on the areas where there is exposure because you just can't access all of it at once. But that turned out so, so, so cool. And I had tongs. Let's see how this guy is doing. All right, we still got some blues in here. Ooh, those colors look awesome. All right, I am going to add another tablespoon of vinegar to this pot. This one had a lot of blue, like a lot of blue. What did I do, like 26 drops of blue? That's a lot of food coloring. It might not all absorb. It might not, but I think it'll still be cool. So plus 2, plus 4. I'm making a note in my diary. We just nitpicks order with the yellow swish. Ooh, yeah. And so this is something that would be fun. The human drive to create pattern strikes again, even spacing. Yeah. All right, I'm going to remove this one. Okay. From the hot plate. Bring over another one and heat that up. Oh, Indy, I'm sure it's just the... Wait, it could be the mailman? No. Had to check to see if it was my nitpicks order. Was that looking? Okay, I am going to come around. Just waiting for the other guy to soak a bit. And I'm going to open up a package. So like a bonus unboxing. Now, I don't have a code with Dharma Trading Company or anything. But, oh, I guess there's nothing over there. So I'll just make this one big. Yeek! I can move myself around. Hey guys. Okay. So I got this itty bitty box from Dharma. I don't know what their next Black Friday sale is actually. The first one was free shipping within the US. And I was like, yeah. Because it's funny, like in my shop, like I charge shipping. So it's hard because you know that like the company has to pay for shipping otherwise. But there's stuff I needed, and this was a good thing. But I got a respirator. This is more. So previously, I also got some more dust masks. These are the ones that I've been using. They are like NIOSH like certified. I use them a lot for when. What did I get? I got 3 of them for when I'm using dye powders. But I don't think that this was that expensive. Let me see. I don't think it has the price. Okay, so the respirator was $37. And these dust masks were $2.50 each. So it's just, it's reusable. You can see like on the little pictures. I didn't get like the inserts to like help with like removing like smells or vapors or anything. It's just to keep me from inhaling any powders. And hopefully like it might be a little more comfortable. I don't know. But I decided I'm using enough powders now that it is worth investing in some personal safety equipment. I even now used at least a dust mask for dyeing with Kool-Aid too. And tie-dye powders and things where you might not necessarily like be like they don't say like use a dust mask, but they do say like even like color mist powders like the Wilton sprays like recommend to not inhale. So it's worth I think, especially I think you can find things at Home Depot and stuff too. I think it's just worth to avoid oh, I'm sorry if he, Indy freaks out if he hears himself on video. Yeah, he's like, oh, it's really funny. All right, but I did get a little, is that all I got? Did I get a coupon? Oh no, it was a shipping and handling coupon. I got all excited for a minute. So I got some more acid dyes. And, oh, weird. Look at the different size of the containers. So I got some acid dye, 2 ounces of teal green, which came in this larger tub. I also got forest green and electric violet to add to my collection of Dharma acid dyes that I have not started using yet. I think I need to come up with a better system. I need a slightly better system for storing the acid dyes and whatnot. And they came with they synthetic white sinew. It's fantastic for tie-dye and shibori. Interesting. Yeah, so I think that, we were talking about chemical resists. They definitely have chemical resists. I just have no experience using any of them online. Yeah, no, I mean, this was like really inexpensive. I would open it now, but it says to like read before opening. So filters are required for particles. What I don't know, which was unclear. Okay, it says it includes, it was unclear from the website if it included the filter discs or not. So I bought 2 filter discs, at least then I have a replacement if they were included in here in the first place. But that was my itty bitty Dharma order where I took advantage of the free shipping. Okay, so let's think. I'm gonna go check on this guy. Oh, I'm so glad that I remembered that there's early pickup today. It's just started last week, like after daylight savings time, and it's thrown all of us parents for the complete loop. Now, how hot are you? Not hot enough. It's like, do. I did turn off the heat on, well, because I removed it from the heat on this guy. Okay, our chroma twist is clearing, like, compared to the amount of color in the yarn, there is not a lot of color in the pot. And I know I'm off camera, trying to like, these colors are ultimately really, really similar. I thought they might be a little more different, but I think that when we look at them side by side, it's good. You guys are going to be like, wait, you used a different color mixture on those? So, yeah. So I've been using, with acid dyes, I've always been using the dust mask, but I figured Kool-Aid particles in general are a bit thicker than some acid dyes, but yeah, I just thought that it was worth adding some additional layers of protection. All right, I think that this next one will be the last one of the day, but I'm enjoying this, and clearly, these yarns will make an appearance at another point. Cadena, I'm curious to see how it dyes. It's not, for being 70%, it's 70% Peruvian Highland wool. It isn't, for being 30% alpaca, I think I expected something a bit softer. Not that it's rough, but I was like, it may as well just be like Peruvian Highland wool. So it's funny because I don't hate it, but it was definitely one of those bare yarns that I was really excited to get. And when I touched it, I felt, oh, I was underwhelmed by it, you know, as can happen. So I'm not even sure what color I'm gonna mix this time. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, let's pull up me large over here. Sorry, I don't know what. This one pot is making beautiful sounds right now. All right, let's put. Ooh, I like this. Actually, can we move this forward? There we go. That's fun. Yee! All right, let's think. What do I wish was different about the other colors? I guess not a ton. I'm really liking the way they're going. I do sort of want to play with the proportion. Or, actually, why don't we go a different direction? So back when I was doing the Mystery Dip Diathon, we had one where we mixed crimson and blue. It was 11 drops of crimson, 15 drops of blue. I'm like trying to decide because I feel like, I mean, the crimson is just red number 40. And I think I want something, I'm trying to decide if I want more red in it, if I want a little less. Oh, guys, like if I want, because I don't want it to go too pink. Let's see if they have any ideas for me. Oh, well, that's a really nice purple, but I think that would be too pink. I'm breaking it. All right, let's avoid some red number 3. Let's go ahead and do a mixture of burgundy and blue. I don't know the proportions that I'm going to use. Oh, not burgundy, crimson. Crimson and blue. So then this will just be red number 40 and blue number 1. And so before in that last live stream we did 11 to 15. I'm not sure what I quite want to do. Okay. I feel like the crimson might. So one of the things that's going on here is that I guess one of the colors from this that I can't achieve is that the deepest color is like a navy, and then the brightest color is a pale purple. So with breaking colors, that's not something that I'm going to be able to do. Now, that is something that you could do with dip dyeing into 2 different colors. So I could dip dye into a blue and leave the tip done, and then dip the other end into a tiny bit of purple. Or just do like a whole gradient of blue and then reverse the side and then dip a tiny bit into a little bit of pink where you have the palest blue. And so, yeah, that's totally the way to do it. Oh, maybe I'll have to do another one. But I think that instead I am going to create a purple and do a broken colorway again. But again, like there's many, many ways that you could think about this. And I think that it is a lot of fun. I'm curious about if we're getting hot yet. Oh, I guess we should move the image, not my face. All right, I think I'm going to send you guys to a brief commercial break. I'm going to go think in the background, and I will be right back. Okay. I don't know if I lined up that insertion correctly, but I appreciate you guys hanging out during these commercial breaks. If you don't see an ad, don't worry. Yeah. I think that the problem I have with some of these streams, and especially like these dialogues, is that I look at the image and I can think of like five or six different things that I want to do. 5 or 6 different colorways that I want to create. And that's why I thought it would be fun to do multiple today. But, you know, and you can do multiple pictures. And I might just feature one, I might feature all. But I hope that if I featured you last time that you enjoyed it. I think it was a little confusing in the ChemKnits Lab Facebook group. I know a lot of people were sharing there because I shared the image, so it may have been a little unclear where to submit the pictures. But hopefully this month I helped make that clearer. I need to see the comments. All right. And so also coming up the week after Thanksgiving, I'm going to try out, YouTube has this new premiere feature. And so I will be scheduling a really awesome video. I will be scheduling a premiere for the evening. And while it's like airing for the first time, I'm going to join you guys in the live chat. So if you ask a question, you won't be able to hear me, but in real time, I will be like chatting and typing along with you. This is 8 cups of water. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. But I'm really, really excited to do a super special video and then like hang out in the chat with you guys. So I think that will be fun. Okay, this is getting pretty hot. What did I say? So let's try. So let's start with 10 and 10. So 10 drops crimson. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 10 drops blue. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, blue I'm going through you way fast this time. I got a request to do some more browns, and I hope to do that. So this is actually looking pretty blue right now. This is only, oh, interesting. That almost right here looks black compared to some of the other ones. You know how grape Kool-Aid doesn't really look like a bright purple? I think it's because it's red number 40. I think this is very much like a grape Kool-Aid kind of color. So I think that some of the reds will show through as we break with this. But yeah, maybe let's just go with this with the 1-to-1. I mean, now granted, as I'm saying that this is a 1-to-1 ratio, it is not actually a 1-to-1 ratio. Oh, hi guys. The crimson could be a lot more concentrated than, excuse me, the crimson could be more concentrated than the blue. The blue could be more concentrated than the purple. The 1-to-1 is just out of the drops that I measured. And so that's the one thing, like, I don't know for a fact that they're constant. Actually, there's many different factors. Like, even if the concentration is the same, one could be more potent than the other in the terms of the color it gives. Like, there's just many different factors going on. Let's see how this one's doing. Oh, yeah. There's like the barest hint of blue left. What? How is there like... There's like a hint of Selena in here somehow. There's something glittery. in that pot. Okay. All right, we're getting ready. Hi, thanks for joining from Germany. You guys join from all over. I wish I could do more. Well, I know that when I do these daytime streams, I get a lot of people in Europe, but I know that people um, I know some people can sort of like tune in at work a little bit, but some people can't. And so I do try to vary the time. But the best time for me to stream on my end is while the kids are at school. All right. So this one, I used some crochet cotton, some basically cotton thread, and I tied it tightly in different points all around the skein. And this seems like, are we not that hot yet? Oh, we're reasonably hot. Okay. We're not boiling. It's hot. I'm going for it. Okay, so I mixed these colors in half a cup of water. Ooh, that does look nice and purpley. This is Knit Picks Big O in the color Dove Heather. So the other yarns that we've used today were Bear. This one is 50% superwash merino, 50% nylon. And I'm just going slow. Ish. Still looking very purple to me. Oh, right. You know why it's still looking very purple? Red 40 takes more time to absorb than red number 3. So in general, I tend to wait until I see the little bits of blue. I do think that is blue. It's still a little purple. That's okay. I might just go for it now. If you want to get, I'll need to add more vinegar in a little bit, I think. If you want to get a colorway that is more blue, a little less red, sort of like what was in the picture, and let me pull up my inspiration image just to have next to it. I guess there's a fair amount of purple too. One idea that I had would be to start with blue, dip dye, let all that absorb, and then use a tiny bit of pink sort of over the other. Would be a way. But actually, each time I look at it, it looks a little different if it's more purple or more blue. I think, legitimately, the angle I'm looking at this in the computer changes it. But I love that you guys are making some like real life connections, and I've I think I've told Julia this before, but the name that she has displayed was my grandmother's maiden name, and so it's always like I think the first time I noticed like a comment from her on a video, I was like, whoa. But actually, both of my grandmothers did knit, and I think both of them really crocheted a lot too. But I have almost all of my crochet hooks came from my grandmother's, and so it's just a little fun. Oh shoot. Yes, nothing's wrong. I just had to. I keep forgetting to pick stuff up at CVS. All right, so now we wait. Oh, and I can hide the image. I think that the color Hi. Sorry, guys. I think the sound should be back now. I can't type into the chat for some reason. Let me try to pop out the chat again. Should be working now. Yeah, I can't believe I accidentally turned off the sound. Yeah. As I was editing stuff, I was making things go away, and I accidentally muted the microphone. So yes, that one just now is Big O. I love Big O. It was a Dove Heather Big O base that I dipped into, and actually, I think that these colors are somewhat inspired from your yarn, if I remember correctly, but I don't remember who got which color. The crimson and blue dip dyed. So any way to get more pink in from the corner of the picture. So again, and actually I can look at it on the thumbnail here. I think that the best way with food coloring to get that pink in is start with either, so maybe we were starting with this color. Maybe I do 15 drops of blue, 5 drops of crimson, dip really slow to the very end. And by really slow, I mean try to get a pale blue at the other end. Or maybe even put the tongs on fluorescent on top of the pot and leave some white there. And then once that cools off, I would make another vat with some pink, maybe with a tiny hint of blue to make it a little more purple, and then dip into that from the other end to add some more pinks there, but have it not be as saturated and intense. So, oh, Julia. Yeah, so it was at least this error was an easy fix. This one was my own fault, not YouTube's. Yeah, the pinks, it's funny because I like pinks a lot. I think pinks are pretty hard to do with food coloring just because they strike so fast. You could get a nice really all over pink or something, but if you wanted a pastel pink, I think it's hard to do that and have it not be super mottled. Now, mottled works great with this inspiration, but yeah, I think that if I was going to do more, I might do the 2-step and finish with the pink. The over dye, yes, you over dye it with a little bit of pink at that end to get that. But yeah, as we're waiting for these timers, I know many of you are ChemKnits patrons already through Patreon, and so thank you. The new episode of Dye Pop PS, the patrons just got early access to that, and you might notice I'm on a theme currently with some of my colors, but it is a cool episode, and so if you become a patron today, you'll immediately get access to that. And if you become a patron before the end of the month, before the end of November, you will be eligible for December shout-outs and Etsy coupons. So patrons at certain levels get sort of a permanent coupon sent to them every month for the ChemKnits Creations Etsy store. But this link is in many places, but I want to drop this Patreon link into the chat. But I know that that's not everyone's cup of tea. And I would like to give a huge thank you to everyone who gave super chats today. It's that little $sign at the bottom of the chat. It's a little bit like a tip jar. But it's a way to give a one-time, occasional, non-scheduled contribution, whereas Patreon is a subscription service. Hey, that is totally understandable, and actually leads me into another way. I am a KnitPicks affiliate. Now, even though I am an affiliate and I use their products, I genuinely pick their products because it's what I've been using for years. And I actually kicked myself. I didn't discover they had an affiliate program sooner because I probably could have made a lot more commission over the years because of that. But I genuinely really love their products. I like that I can buy a single skein of yarn. I like that it's really easy for people to access. And They are having their really big sale right now. Sock blanks are 50% off. Mind blown. I've bought over 20 so far. I might buy some more because this price is mind-blowingly good. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, so that's just another way, like, you get stuff for yourself, and then in the background it helps me too. But again, like, I buy my own yarn. They did send me one of their subscription boxes to try out. I was really proud. I reached out and asked if they would send me one. But otherwise, like, I select my own products and I try to give my true opinion on them. And so sometimes, like, there's yarns I think are amazing. Sometimes there's some that I find a little underwhelming. But in general, I've been very, very happy with them. And it's what I like to knit with. So that's why I like to dye it. And then the last thing, I can't believe I almost forgot this one, is that if you like the yarn that I dye and you kind of wish you could bring it home, well, you can. These ones obviously aren't in the shop yet because they're not dry. But the yarn from the October dye-along are currently in the shop, as are a lot of other ones from videos, like that green speckled one that I did on Tuesday, that's in the shop now. And so sometimes it's a great way to see some sneak peeks of things coming up because things might end up in the shop before the videos have come out. But it's just another way you can bring home the yarn and play with it yourself. And all of these are just things that help me continue to do these massive unboxings of Knit Picks purchases because I have to restock my bare yarns. I wish I should have, oh, that's the 10 minutes. I should have kept a count of how much yarn I have dyed in the, oh, that's just the image, whoops. Nope. Nope. There we go, but I left the sound on it. Oh, image. I wish I had kept count of all of the yarn, like the number of skeins that I've dyed in the last year. Because it's been a lot. All right, and oh, I can reduce the heat on the hot plate. That actually is absorbing really, really well. And ooh, these colors are really nice. There's still like a bit of blue there. I am going to add more vinegar. Sometimes with these superwash nylon blends, 1 tablespoon is enough. And I actually believe that this could exhaust completely without assistance. But for, I guess, a little bit of consistency, I just want to add, and I lost the lid, 2 more tablespoons of vinegar. Oh shoot. Washing off my clothes. May have discovered a little oil spill. All right. But I like doing these live streams because I think it gives like a real sense of, you know, how like, yeah, oh yeah, there's still like a bit of blue in there that we can get. I think that these live streams give a sense of like how long like different things take, and I just really enjoy the opportunity to chat with you guys. But if you're just tuning in, we are doing the November ChemKnits dialogue, and I'll pop the inspiration photo back up in a minute, but I want to show you the first one we did today. So it's a picture of the Milky Way seen from Earth, and okay, I can't even tell because I don't have my computer turned around, so I can't see where we are, but right here. Nope. There. Where it's a picture of the Milky Way galaxy as seen by Earth. It's like this gradient of purples and blues with white stars. So I wanted to play around with some, actually I'll just stick this in here, some different resist techniques. And on this one we used these nylon zip ties, and on the other ones we've used like string and yarn. And the goal, I can pull up the image for a second. the goal of this is just to play around with all of these colors. And I think that the brightness of that yarn is not really coming through as true as it could. I'll just pop that there, and my face, make my face small. Nope. Nope. Go back up. Not that small. Yeah. And oh, I almost forgot. I gotta do a thumbnail for later so I can screenshot. So let me make this big and smile like an idiot. Smile, cheese. All right, so there I'm like towards the end. I've got my thumbnail. I'm gonna make this small again so you guys can see the pot. But oh, the things that I do in the name of YouTube. Oh no! Oh no! I lost the chat. You're saying a timer? Yeah. Oh no! No worries. I love it. I love it. No, I love that so many of you join me for these. I really have just a ton of fun, and I love that you guys tune in. I wish that the colors on my webcam showed up like as vibrant as they do in person, but this is one of the reasons why I do film these recap videos at the end. And if you want to dye along at home and use this beautiful picture as inspiration for your own dyeing adventures, and no obligation to do resist, take the inspiration from this picture, like your inspiration, your version. There are a few ways that you can share this that might end up with your yarn featured in the recap video for this at the beginning of December. You can share your version on Instagram with the hashtag Chemnitz dye along, or you can reply to the picture on the Chemnitz Facebook page, which is just this picture right here, that picture right there. You can reply with a photo comment with your yarn and tell me a little bit about maybe how you dyed it. You don't need to give the exact recipe, but like how you dyed it. Did you use commercial dyes, food coloring? You could talk about what inspired you about this picture. It's what you took from it. But again, you don't have to use the exact same colors. You don't have to use food coloring. You don't have to use resist. You could do black speckles. You could do a white yarn with these galaxy color speckles. Like there's a lot. It doesn't have to be a gradient kind of thing. There's many, or an ombre, any kind. There's many ways that you could play with it to make it your version. And so that one is what I think is really fun about this, is that, this was my interpretation, and I did 3, but it's still my personal interpretation, and with an excuse to play around with a few different resists. But clearly I'm not going to, the other yarns aren't cool enough for me to open them up. But yeah, I'm basically now going to, I'm not even going to move that camera yet. I'm going to turn off the hot plate, turning it off, and I'm unplugging it. It'll take like 10 hours to cool. I laugh at, actually that water looks pretty clear. But I am going to just leave this in the pot to cool for a bit. And then I'll probably wash and open up those skeins this evening while the munchkins are going to bed. You always think it's funny when you see YouTubers do their thumbnails. Yeah, a lot of times, I don't worry about it too much, but sometimes with the live streams, I'm, struggling to find a thumbnail where I'm not, it's not, a totally awkward moment. So, yeah. But it's funny when I, there's, on the Facebook page, I think I've got blogger and maker of videos is the type of page, but YouTuber was not an option. Facebook, I don't think likes YouTube very much. If I share, it used to be you could share a YouTube video and it would be autoplayed. But now I notice if I share a link directly to a YouTube video, it just as a link, it does not reach as many people. Because I think that they would prefer that I uploaded all my videos on Facebook. But you can't have ads on your videos on Facebook unless Facebook invites you to that program. So it's like a, yeah. Because I was like, ooh, you could do watch parties on Facebook. That was before there was the like YouTube premiere. I was like, ooh, that could be fun to like upload a video and then chat with you guys as it was going. But I'm really excited to try that out on YouTube. What colors did I use for the yarn in the bowl of my head? I used Wilton Colorite for everything today. There's a link to that in the video description. I don't know if it's on sale right now. It might be. Might be on sale right now. Yeah, it is. It's only $17.65. It's marked down from $24.99. It is on sale right now. So that is a pretty good price. Not quite a 50% off coupon, but it's still a really good price. And I did the same mixture for that one up there that I did for the video today, where I created this yarn, which doesn't show off the reds nearly as well, which was 9 drops of black, 12 drops of pink, 10 drops of blue. And so like I picked the inspiration photo, and then I looked at this yarn and I was like, oh, well, I can't just dip dye purple. I gotta go and try to like get some of those like stars in there somehow. But so that is what I used. Oh goodness, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I know like for some of these, like the amount of ties that I put on some of these yarns seems not quite excessive, but it might just feel like a lot. And especially if, you know, maybe we won't get sharp white dots on the Big O. It's hard to say at this point how it'll turn out until I open it and cut all the ties off, which will also take a really long time. But again, like with any of these dyeing projects that take a lot of prep work in order to dye them, it's ultimately totally up to you if that is something that you want to do. Just like with anything that's handmade, you know? And so it's just fun to play around with and see like, okay, if the one with the acrylic ties, if that ends up looking a lot like the zip ties, then goodness, I'm just going to use zip ties every time I do this, because they didn't absorb, like the yarn absorbed more color than the zip ties. That was a great way to do it. So you got 21 sock blanks. Awesome. Yeah, I think the first order of mine has 20, which, oh my gosh, I think that box is out for delivery today. There's a chance if it does arrive today, I will be up tonight with an unboxing. Otherwise, well, if it arrives too late, then it might be tomorrow morning, lunchish time, my time, kind of thing. But yeah, again, like there's links to all my stuff all through the chat in the video description. I don't know, I'm just having a lot of fun, and these dye-alongs are really, this is another like a viewer request, a viewer suggestion. Like this was something that you guys asked for, and I thought it was a really fun way to start celebrating a year of Dye Pot Weekly. My goal is to keep this going every month. That's my goal. We'll see how things turn out. But yeah, I think that I'm just so glad that you guys are dyeing along with me, and that I don't know, I think it's the biggest compliment when I do a dyeing video and then I like publish a new dyeing video, and then later that day someone's sharing pictures where they like were following along and doing the same techniques at home. And it's just, if I can make you feel confident to just go for it and play with colors, then I'm doing something right. So yeah, you guys give me a lot of confidence and encouragement, and I am extremely thankful and grateful for all of your support. But now I should sign off, go have some lunch. Oh man. Yeah, I think I'll make, why did that pop up? I'll make this large again so you can see the inspiration, but this exact photo is on Instagram. I'm just at ChemKnits on Instagram, and facebook.com/ChemKnits. I think all those links are also in the video description. But anyway, Thank you so, so, so much for joining me. I really, again, like, am so happy to have been able to hang out with you guys this afternoon. And ooh, a Fair Isle sweater and dye all the yarn for it. That is gonna be amazing, amazing. But yes, all right. Yes, I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna go relax a little bit before the chaos comes back home. But yeah, I'm just again so thankful, and with Thanksgiving. Oh, I guess one other like shop note. If you are going to place an order through the Chemnitz Creation Store, Etsy store, if you place orders through Monday, I will get those shipped out before Thanksgiving. Any orders placed Tuesday through Friday will ship out the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So that is my little Thanksgiving note hidden here at the end of the video. But yes, I hope you guys all have a really fantastic day. And again, thank you so, so much for joining me. Yeah, bye everyone.